angel? There it is. It's not what you were expecting, I imagine. Does anyone know what this is? Yes? Very close. This is an ice axe. And for a mountaineer, it is as essential as air. Have any of you ever tried to walk up a hill in the ice and snow? It's not very easy to do now, is it? Well, now imagine that you're on the face of a mountain, trying to reach the summit. The wind hammers into your body, peppering your face with tiny bullets of ice and snow. You have to take great, gasping breaths. Your lungs are searing from a lack of oxygen. Every fiber of every muscle in your body is focused on taking that next step. The mountain is testing you. Can you make it to the top? As you climb, you use the spike of your ice axe to jam into the snow to help you to keep your balance. But as the slope steepens, you hew out a small staircase into the ice in order to help you take that next step further. Suddenly the snow gets wet, and your body slams into the ground. You try to recover, but you're sliding. You're sliding on your belly. Your face is rasping against the ice and the snow. If you're not careful, you could be flung off the side of a mountain, thrown into a crevasse, or dashed against a nearby rock. But you have your ice axe. You collect yourself, roll over onto your side, and jam the spike of your axe into the ice. You roll over back onto your belly and wedge your shoulder up against the odds, pressing that thing further into the snow. I would keep your feet up! If you don't, they could catch, sending you tumbling head over heels down the mountain like a human snowball. You begin to slow, and after a few moments, you glide to a gentle stop, shaken, but alive. You stagger back to your feet, shake the snow off of you, and cast your eyes back up to the summit above, and what could have been your death below you. Now you know why I call this my guardian angel. This length of oak and iron has saved my life many a time. Now I haven't always been a climber. Back in my home state of Minnesota, we didn't have the mountains that we do here in Washington. But in my time living here, I have come to love the natural beauty of the Cascades and the Olympics. So much so that I joined a mountain climbing club out of Portland called the Mazamas. Now, does anyone know what the word Mazama means? Not many do. It's an ancient Aztec word meaning mountain goat. Now, my time with the Mazamas was fine for a while. But after all, Portland is Portland, and Seattle is Seattle. Why should the good citizens of Seattle have to belong to an out-of-state club? I found like-minded compatriots in W. Montelius Price and Dr. Cora Eaton, and together we founded the Mountaineers in 1906. The goal of the Mountaineers is to explore the waterways, forests, and mountain ranges of Washington, to promote the beauty of this great state, and above all, to create a sense of camaraderie and fellowship amongst all lovers of outdoors in the West, even those from Portland. That was a joke. The beauty of Washington is a wondrous gift, and the aim of the Mountaineers is to explore that gift as much as possible. In 1907, we climbed Mount Olympus in the Olympics, and last year, we led an expedition up to Kulshan. Have you ever heard that word before? Kulshan. It's an old Lummi Indian word meaning Great White Watcher, although you probably know it better as Mount Baker. Now, before the Mountaineers, climbing Mount Baker had been extremely difficult, owing mainly to a lack of trails. The goal of the Mountaineers will be to forge new paths up the Great White Watcher, making future climbs comparatively easier. What's the farthest you've ever walked in a single day? Anyone? Yes? 6 miles. 6 miles! That's impressive. Anyone else? Yes?
I've run 10.
Run 10 miles! Our first day on Mount Baker, we hiked 14 miles straight up. Over the course of the next few days, we made many excursions along the lower slopes to practice and prepare, mostly to just enjoy the natural beauty of our surroundings. Finally, it came time to make our camp at the timberline. Does anyone know what the word timberline means? You again? Very close. It's the point on the mountain at which trees can no longer grow. It does seem to be about a line. From here at an altitude of 5,000 feet, we would have a path up the side of the mountain free of trees and brush. Once we set up camp, we turned in early, but the wind was bitter and biting, and it made sleep difficult. At 2 in the morning, a bugle blast woke us. Now you know how we felt. gathered our belongings and ourselves and prepared for our journey up the top of the Great White Watcher. And as we took our breakfast, a meteor shot through the sky, and we all took that to be a positive sign. By 3:30 in the morning, we had our possessions and were ready to begin our hike up to the top of Colshot. We were already well up on the mountain by the time the sun rose from behind the sharp peak of Mount Shuxon behind us. And in the distance, we could see the rosy peak of Mount Rainier glowing ruby red in the morning light. On and on and on and on we hiked, the mountain slowly, grudgingly yielding. But finally, we made it to the top. 10,780 feet above the Pacific, falling away to the west. All 39 souls in our party recorded the deed in an old Mazama document box resting at the summit. Our stay at the top of the Great White Watcher was memorable and brief, the icy winds driving us down to cozier confines of our camp below. One just feels more at touch with the mountains on the uncharted trails and share the beauty of this great state for all of the world to see, except for when a raging river capsizes my boat and all of my negatives are washed overboard. That happened to me in Alaska. I lost a lot of money on that venture. These days, I treat my negatives like gold. Have you all ever seen one before? A negative, that is. A negative is the template that is used to make photographs once they're developed. And for a photographer, they are a true marvel. And speaking of marvel, you've all been a marvelous audience. To reward you all, I would like to induct you as honorary members of the Mountaineers by singing our initiation song together called I Love the Mountains. Now don't worry, I'll do the hard part with all of the verses. You merely have to join me in the chorus. When I point to you, your part is boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada. 8 times like that. Shall we try? I will take that as a commanding yes. Then welcome to the Mountaineers. I love the mountains, I love the rolling hills, I love the flowers, I love the daffodils, I love the fireside when all the lights are low. Boom-de-yada, 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 boom-de-yada. We walk together, hike by the quiet stream, watch for the sunrise, breathing the air so clean. When we're together, sharing our fondest dreams. Boom-de-yada, 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 bum. Congratulations, you are all now honorary members of the Mountaineers. Welcome.